we may ask again about some of these fiscal matters, but I'm going to move on to immigration. Many farmers in the 23rd District rely on illegal immigrant labor. Republicans and conservatives have voiced a variety of plans for immigration reform over the years, from guest worker programs to repealing the 14th Amendment, which guarantees U.S. citizenship to those born in this country. What do you think needs to happen on immigration? And I believe this one would go to Doug. Is that right?
Immigration is a difficult issue, but illegal is illegal. And if people are in here, in our country, illegally, we have to put a stop to it. We have to tighten our borders, especially on the south border, to make sure that we aren't just turning away from it and letting people come in. As far as the farmers in the 23rd District, there's plenty of farmers that do it legally. There is the guest worker program. You see it all the time with the apple orchards in Plattsburgh. It's been going on ever since I've been up here for 50 or 60 years. I'm sure it went on a long time before that. The problem that I see in it, because we use it in Lake Placid and Saranac Lake, we get temporary workers in here for the summer for the hotel and restaurant industry. And the problem is you have to make the red tape and the bureaucratic procedures easier. You have to make it easier for these people to come in, help out when they're needed, and go home, and keep track of them so that we know when they're here and when they're not here. And the farmers that are, if they are doing it illegally throughout the 23rd District, I would encourage them to get into that program, and as their congressman, I'm going to work hard to make sure that procedure becomes easier. The borders in the North Country, we have to have a tight security, but at the same time, we have to have free trade going back and across that border for commerce, for tourism, and just for general friendship with Canada. And that's a tough thing, and the people on the border have been trying to do that and have been trying to do it well. But I want to make sure that people that want to come down here to visit aren't turned off by the procedures at the border. So it's a tough call, but we have to support our security at the border and give the authorities all the power that they want. But we have to make sure they're not abusing that and keeping people out that want to help us and help our economy.
Go ahead. Sure, when we're talking about immigration, illegal immigration, it's a sad state of affairs when it's easier to get in this country illegally than it is legally. And look, the reality is we need to make sure we have true border security. Up here we have different border issues, but down in the 4 states, whether it be California, Arizona, New Mexico, or Texas, we need to have true border security. That's why I'm supportive of John Kyle and John McCain's plan to truly come up with real protection, to make sure that the first thing we do is seal our border and make sure we don't have a continuing illegal immigrant problem. But secondly, more specific here in the 23rd, I've traveled quite extensively. I've said it a million times. I've been 9 months, almost 70,000 miles now, and visited every town. But part of my travels is with farmers to specifically talk about this very issue. Now, certainly the H-2A program, which Doug was referring to, is okay. It's for migrant seasonal workers. The challenge is we have a lot of dairy farms in this region. Certainly, whether it's from the shores of Lake Champlain all the way over to the St. Lawrence River. And that needs a little bit different program. And someone in as your future congressman, I'm going to be dogged and persistent to make sure that our farmers have the resources they need. Because at the end of the day, they're just small business people just like anyone else. And the reality is right now that they want to live by the law. Hopefully they are. But what we need is to make sure that the programs are set. So H-2A is going to be okay for certain seasonal workers like Doug was referring to, but we need a bigger, better program to make sure that the people who are here for longer durations, again, you got to milk cows, sometimes 24/7, whether it's 2 or 3 times a day. And so by going out and understanding that, meeting with farmers, down in DeRide, or meeting with farmers in the town of Hounsfield, I understand that, and that's the deep understanding I have of this issue. And I'll go back and I'll be an advocate down in Congress to make sure that we have the right policies. So look, we have to seal the borders, we have to enforce the law. Amnesty is not the answer. But, again, the economy is too important, and to have the farmers, whether it be a small family farm or a larger concern, they need federal help. What do they need? As Doug said, to make sure we get rid of the bureaucracy. It can't be so impenetrably hard to get through the H-2A program. But for the dairy folks, we need to make sure there's a different program that allows the people, the workers to come in on, on a guest basis, but a little bit longer, a little bit settled, because you know what? Cows got to be milked. Thanks.
30 seconds for rebuttal, Mr. Hoffman.
Absolutely, exactly what I was saying, and I think we have to work with our farmers. Our farmers are having a difficult time, especially with dairy farmers, where they are only getting $12 or $13 per hundred, and it's costing them about $16 or $17 per hundred. We have to help them with the work, and we have to help them with that price problem.
Mr. Doheny.
Let's go on.